Hey folks, my name is Pravus and welcome to more After Ink Revival as we continue with our Mega Brutal Guide series. We're moving on to Mission 5, Fever Dream. The survivors are in poor health after years of neglect underground. With no supplies and so much knowledge lost, even basic medical care seems out of reach. Until today. Now this is the scenario that is going to teach you how to build tall. We're going to be building up a pretty high population and technology level, and we have to sustain that while also surviving really brutal winters and also a very aggressive zombie horde. I would say that this is the mission that is going to see a major difficulty spike for most players. This is where some RNG events can absolutely ruin your run no matter how well you play, and it's very, very difficult to recover. But with any luck, we're going to get through it this time around. Now, as far as our leaders, we could go for the soldier. Haven't played with him yet. I don't love him, but he's not that bad. The fighters can insta-kill zombies, which can be very, very nice in some scenarios. The big issue is that you'll have to get barracks, and they increase your food, water, and fuel consumption rates, which is awful. Also, it is a lot harder to manage your morale if you are playing with the soldier. So it's going to be tough, but maybe we can make it work. I'm going to go for well-rested. This 37% starting production is actually better than I thought it was. It is just high enough to hit a break point where you get extra resources and it pays for itself very, very nicely. You'll see what I mean in just a bit. We'll play on Mega Brutal difficulty. It's called New Greenland, and let's begin. Now let me show you what the map is going to look like. So you'll see on our side of the river, there's plenty of resources to start. We have a couple of forests and a couple good food sources. That's not half bad. The problem is, if you go for that forest on the northeast corner, be aware there are zombies across the bridge. So there's a chance that you are going to get attacked. Now, if you have a fighter, that's not so bad, but it means that rushing the early expansion could be a little bit risky. The rest, though, should be enough to sustain about 5 or so population with pretty high technology levels, and you should be fine. We have to get higher than that, though. So let's take a look at our objectives. Right off the bat, we have to get up to 3 populations. So that takes a lot of groundwork, but we can't dilly-dally. We have to go for that fast. We also need to get up to Tech 2, which realistically you want to have about the time that you finish with your 3rd population anyway, so we already had to do that. Then we'll explore 7 areas on the map, then get to Pop 6, and then Tech 4, both of which are very ambitious and hard to pull off, but once we do that, the rest falls into place very quickly. We'll build up a small healing hut, claim a medicine area, and then stockpile some medicine. Easy peasy. You haven't seen those yet, but once you get to Tech 4, there is a new resource. You'll see that in just a bit. Let's go ahead and settle. I want to go ahead and explore this forest right away. Let's scavenge a couple of wood. Let's go for some food. Let's build up a quick well, which notice, by the way, is 3 water production instead of 2. That 37% was enough to boost up my water production by 50%. So it actually is pretty good. Let's get ourselves a basic toilet, and then I want to queue up 2 tents right off the bat because that's how the timing works. You have to go for the tents right off the bat or you're going to hit your impatience. It's a little nasty, I'm not going to lie, but we're going to have to do that. Let's claim this forest as soon as we are able to. I want to start getting some extra lumber production as well as some firewood production if we can. Though, yeah, let's go ahead and get that. We are going to need to get some extra wells and stuff pretty soon. We're about to have our 2nd population. So around that time, yeah, let's go ahead and get ourselves another well so that we don't have any water issues. Pick this up. That gets me another stamina. We'll use that to get ourselves a makeshift fire pit, which should make the 2nd pop pretty happy. So I'm not worried about that. Go over here. We're going to get some fuel going, and then we need to start exploring in this region to get ourselves some food production. Though realistically, actually, we don't have to do this one first. You could do this instead, and maybe there's an argument that that would be better, but this has cattle. And cattle is quite good because it's like deer. You do produce food throughout the year. But with the extra production bonus that we have, what ends up happening is for 1 stamina, we get 2 food production throughout the year, which is better than any wheat field or any orchard that you can find. It's really, really quite good. So I will want to have that pretty soon. Now, the big issue I think with this map is in the early game, you're going to have a lot of competing priorities because we need to have that next level of tech pretty soon, right? We already know that that's going to be a thing. We also are going to need to get a fighter because I know that by about the time winter's going to hit, there's a good chance you are going to get attacked again. So we have to do that. So, yeah, basically you need a lot of stamina and it needs to do a lot of things very, very quickly, ideally before winter. Hard to pull off, but we have to try. Let's go for technology level 2. I also now need to go for some food production because I was already at my stockpile. That's why I didn't feel the need to go for my cattle farm yet. But now that we are below that, it's time to go ahead and do that. Okay, so we'll do that here. Now what you're going to see is that people want kitchens. Do we have kitchens? No, so that's not going to work. That's why you need to have the next level of tech here pretty soon. We may want to consider doing some scavenging for some food here pretty soon. I guess we don't necessarily have to do that yet. It's going to be fine. Do I want to get some storage? No. What I want to do is go ahead and start training up my fighter. I did mention that that was going to be a thing, so let's just go ahead and do it. There's tech level 2. We'll pick that up. So that means we finished our next objective. We'll start exploring over here, do that, get ourselves the, well, actually, they want improved housing the most, but they really do want to get a kitchen, so we'll go ahead and start working on that. My morale is starting to tick down, and that could be an issue for us. I really need to get myself some more food production. We don't have a lot of time to take advantage of this orchard. We'll try, but it's only a couple of months of food, which is not outstanding. Here comes some zombies. All right, so around this time is usually when you get attacked. In this case, they're attacking from this direction. Usually I see them attack from this bridge, but it's okay. I don't mind. We had a fighter. We were ready. I'm really just worried about being ready for the winter, though. Let's go ahead and get ourselves another cattle farm just to boost up some of that production. As long as our production is higher than our consumption, even throughout the winter, we'll end up being okay. Hopefully we don't have to do very much scavenging. The fact that we are getting attacked over here is a little unfortunate, because it's going to slow down some of my food production. I might want to go ahead and do a quick scavenge for some food, so let's do that. I'm going to definitely get another firewood splitter, and then we want to start scavenging for some fuel as well. Okay, apprenticeships are pretty good. That's a very good random event to get. Another build team is not what I need. Plant production could be good. That's more food. Exploration cost is not bad, because that means that I can start exploring the map a little bit faster. This will save me, like, I don't know, 4 or so more stamina. This will just get me food. I think I'm actually going to do exploration. That's going to end up being quite nice for me, because it's going to make it a little bit faster for me to go ahead and pick up this forest, which I definitely will want to do. So I think that's fine. So we are scavenging for the food there. Let's go ahead and start scavenging for some fuel before we waste our stamina on anything else. So when winter hits, I want to see how much food production do we have. Are we going to end up being okay? So our production about meets our consumption, therefore I'm not feeling worried there. It's really going to be the fuel. We need to do another scavenge there. And I need to get myself, let's say, another basic toilet just to keep our morale high. This is usually not this bad. It's just because we're playing as a soldier, morale is going to be extra difficult to deal with. Let's start exploring this region and this one over here, because we have a discount, so we might as well. Giving up some fluids sucks right now. I didn't want to give up any water, but not a big deal. It's better than giving up any fuel. We could have worse events. Do I want to go for this forest now, or do I want to wait on that? Kind of hard to say what's going to be best. I definitely want to get myself another fighter if we can. We can explore this region for free, but pretty darn quickly. Some zombies are coming to attack, so we don't have to taunt. They're going to come and attack me pretty soon, I think. Yep, here they come. Now, as the soldier, yep, we did an instant flank. That's really lucky, so we're going to explore this region. These are the only regions I have to explore in order to be successful on this map. Let's go ahead and get ourselves another shack. I don't need to go for the extra fighter quite yet. I'm going to go ahead and claim this forested area. Now, big problem. They're coming to attack me, so maybe I do need this other fighter, and I'm about to regret this. Yeah, we need to get another fighter. Oh, crud. I made a big mistake going for that forest. We may have just lost the game. Let's try to train up that fighter and pray that we live long enough that this does not end up costing me the fighter. There's a good chance that it's going to, though. I may have to pull back, and we are going to possibly lose this territory. Morale critical. Whoa. Why is morale so critical? Hold on. I got distracted. They want a barracks. It's the fuel. The fuel is really what's killing me here. We're going to be okay. Can we basically make this? We can. Okay, pull back. Attack with this fighter. There we go. Flank deals with this. Holy crud, we barely survived. Okay. Let's go for the small... Let's go for the small thing there. I wanted to get another firewood splitter and stuff, but the zombies attacking here was very unfortunate. Now morale's going to start going back up. We did not lose a settler, so that's good. We need to get ourselves 2 more shacks. We know that that's a thing. We could get ourselves another makeshift barracks. I will do that. I need to get myself more fruit production, and we need to get ourselves some more storage. We're getting attacked over in this direction. I mean, that sucks, but we'll be fine. Let's get some lumber yards going, because we're going to start having some serious wood problems in just a little bit. We might even need to consider going for some scavenging. I definitely have found that I've had a lot of issues with lumber production on this map. This one does seem to be a bottleneck if you are not actively, constantly building it up. So a scavenge is something we will have to have as an option. Gosh, these fires. All right, send in some help. No deaths. That's good. Need to get that extra pop, so we'll go ahead and work on that. Now we're about to have some extra needs. Let's go for another one of the fire pits. Speaking of which, let's go for water first. Then we need to go for a couple of firewood splitters. Notice again, though, we have no lumber, which means that's going to slow everything down. So, yeah, like we're not going to get the water we need here. Looks like we're barely going to get it in time, though, so we're okay. New Greenland is losing hope. No. If morale falls below 20%, we lose authority. So the thing is, that's very likely to happen. I can try to boost up morale. Service consumption going up is bad, but I think that is still a preferable option to what else we could have done. So we'll go with that. Let's go for another lumberyard. Again, lumber production is going to be a very big bottleneck for us right about now. Morale's looking okay. Getting that population up is good. Food-wise, I mean, the most we can do is another storage unit, so we'll go ahead and do that. But what I really need to do is go for probably Tech 3 right about now. Because if we don't have more technology, we are not going to be able to sustain our population with the tiles that we currently have claimed. And right now, there's nowhere else that I can claim that's going to really fix any of our problems. Let's get that town square going. But again, we're having wood issues. Like, the wood is completely gone. We used all of it up. So there's Tech 3. That's great. So that's going to help. But if I don't start getting some more wood production, we're in trouble. So let's build another one of those lumber yards. Ugh. Oh, and we somehow instantly resolved the issue of the fire. I don't know how that happened, but I'm not upset about it. That's really, really nice. Looks like the zombies are thinking about attacking again. We got our population level 6, so let's deal with that. Morale is taking a huge drop. Let's go for a basic bathhouse, and let's go for some improved housing, at least a couple levels of each. Zombies are going to get instantly dealt with. Good. Morale is slowly ticking up. Tech 4 would be nice, but it's not going to solve the problem right now. Let's go for another tavern. I do need to get some more wells because we're not producing quite enough water at this point. Yeah, there's a lot of RNG that can happen on this particular map, and it's quite frustrating. If, for example, you end up having a situation of, let's say, a dog attack very early on and you don't have a fighter ready to go, you've probably just lost. Straight up. You have probably just lost the game, and you haven't figured it out yet. It's very, very frustrating. I do want to get some storage going because we really could be storing more fuel than I've got right now. I need to get Tech 4 next. What else could I go for, though? Let's go for a quick cattle farm since we need a little bit more food production. We don't have quite enough to last us through the winter. So what we probably will need to do is a quick scavenge here. And we'll do a quick... I can't do a cheap scavenge of fuel. So let's go for a charcoal pit. Just trying to sustain myself a little bit, but I do think we're going to have to do a fuel scavenge. We'll just go ahead and start working on it now. New statue for New Greenland, fighter strength, authority, or an unpredictable outcome. Fighter strength is nice, not strictly necessary if you're going to have high levels of tech. I'm going to do creativity. I don't know what this is going to do. Morale went up. Okay. I mean, hey, that's fine. I'm not opposed to that at all. That's going to be great. So, okay, we've got some food being scavenged. We've got some fuel coming in. I don't know if this is going to be enough to survive the winter. The problem is, when you get this high of a population, your fuel consumption is so gosh dang high that if you are not stocking up massive amounts of food, you are in trouble. The food poisoning and losing all of that food just now might have just cost me the game. We just lost 10 food at a time that I desperately need it. That is horrendously bad. So hopefully the scavenge will be enough to keep things going. It's going to slow me down because I needed to go for tech level 4. But I don't think that was going to be an option for us, to be completely honest with you. I think we had to deal with that. I can't do tech 4 right now because we don't have enough food. Do I do another scavenge right now? I think we could, but I also think we could just go for like a fruit orchard. Or better yet, we go for a couple of charcoal pits and just try to sustain our fuel a little bit longer. But I really do need to get that food. So let's go for the fruit orchard now. Once we get out of winter, it's going to be a lot better for us. We need to stockpile enough food to go for that tech. Gotta stock up that tech. So stamina-wise, morale-wise, we're really in trouble here. Another toilet could help. Another makeshift kitchen could help. I'm just trying to tread water, because if I lose a pop, that's going to suck. Right now, we are pretty much likely to lose a thing. We're likely to lose a pop, but I'm trying not to. I can't go for Tech 4 until winter's over. I just can't do it. It's gonna get me killed. So let's finish with this. Hopefully the morale starts ticking up. We're probably gonna go down to pop 5. Looks like maybe just barely we're not. Maybe just barely. scavenge one more time, then we're going to stockpile up our stamina, and we're going to go for that tech. Yeah, the population did just drop. Okay, it's not the end of the world if that happens, because right now what that does is it actually relieves a lot of pressure on me, so I can start actually stockpiling some resources again at a time that I really needed it. So that's actually fine. It could have been a lot worse. I will live with that. If we lose a little bit of stamina production, not a big deal. Maintenance required, sure, we'll have to deal with that. No big deal. All right, so once we get to Tech 4, this is where everything's going to start picking up pretty nicely for us. So finish that off. Yeah, we've lost a lot of authority. It's going to be fine. We need to start getting some medicine. So for medicine to be a thing, what I need to do is start working our way over here. I'm going to get myself a small healing hut. This is new. This increases your medicine consumption. We haven't got any medicine up to this point, but we're going to look for it because it's right here in this zone, and I know that I'm going to need to claim it. So let's go ahead and start moving in this direction. I will need to claim this territory. We can move over here. I want to claim this territory, and then I'm going to preemptively go ahead and start scavenging medicine twice. And at this point, we should be able to win. Like, now that we've survived that winter, it's really not a big deal. Claim this zone. That is now done. Good. And we are now stockpiling up some medicine. I just need a couple more. One more. There we go. Done. And we win. Easy enough. So that's why I didn't waste a lot of time exploring a lot further. It's really a matter of surviving the early game, getting that timing down, and then surviving whatever RNG nonsense is going to get thrown at you until you can get through the second winter. If you can get through the second winter, you get your tech, the rest falls into place, and this ends up being a perfectly fine scenario. 4 stars is not great. I have had better. I've had like around a 500 score here. We just got really unlucky at a couple of very important moments, but the strategy does generally work. Thank you all very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If so, I would ask you to hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, hit that notify bell, and I will see you guys next time.